Gigantamax Kingler is debuting in Pokemon Go during its own Max Battle Day, and this thing is going to be very strong. In this video, I will be going through all of the details and tips, including the best counters and strategies to beat GMAX Kingler. So the event takes place on February 1st between 2 PM and 5 PM local time, but what exactly does this event have to offer? So for the bonuses, the max particle collection limit will be increased to 1600. All power spots will be hosting Gigantamax Kingler battles, the power spots themselves will be refreshing more frequently, and you'll get 8 times the normal amount of max particles from power spots. These bonuses will be active for the 3 hours of the event, but there will be some extra bonuses running from 12 AM till 5 PM on the day. These bonuses will be 2 times max particles from exploring, so these are the particles that you get from walking a certain distance, and you can receive these via the nearby menu power spot tab. And it will also be a quarter of the regular distance to get these max particles. There will also be the option of purchasing a $5 event ticket. This ticket will grant you the following bonuses. You'll get 2 times XP from max battles, and the max particle collection limit will be increased to 5600. As well as these bonuses, you will also get a timed research, and this will get you a max mushroom and 25,000 XP. But is this ticket worth purchasing? So with Gigantamax battles being as difficult as they are, I would only recommend purchasing this ticket if you know you'll have a decent amount of people to do these battles with. Because if you don't and you can't do the battles, then these bonuses don't really have much value. Apart from the increased particle collection limit being 5600, because that will allow you to power up more max moves on Pokemon than you would be able to normally. So this bonus could actually be of use to you even if you don't plan on doing GMAX Kingler battles. And you will also get a max mushroom from this ticket, and max mushrooms do cost 400 Pokecoins in Pokemon Go. So with that and the bonuses, I would say it probably is worth $5, but only if you're going to be able to do multiple of these GMAX battles. Alternatively, you can get a max particle pack bundle on the web store for $8. That will get you 4800 max particles, and you can also get a one-time purchase of a max battle box in the in-game shop that will get you a max mushroom and 800 max particles. I will be going through how good GMAX Kingler is going to be in Pokemon Go, but first, what are the best counters for it? So it will require 800 max particles to challenge GMAX Kingler, but these particles will only be used up if you manage to successfully complete the max battle. So if you lose, you can back out and you'll keep your particles. GMAX Kingler is a water type, and therefore it is weak to electric and grass type attacks. It will be able to be shiny from these battles, and the 100% IV CP value you're looking for is 1616. Max battle bosses use 2 types of charged attacks that they get from their charged attack move pool. One of the attacks is a single target attack that targets a Pokemon specifically, which can be dodged when you see this indication above its head. And the other type of attack is a large attack that will deal damage to all Pokemon currently in the battle. This one, however, can't be dodged. So GMAX Kingler can potentially use Vice Grip, which is a normal type, X Scissor, which is a bug type attack, or it can use Water Pulse, Crab Hammer, or Razor Shell, which are all water type attacks. Therefore, the best tanks for this battle will be GMAX Blastoise with Water Gun, GMAX Lapras with Water Gun, GMAX Venusaur with Vine Whip, Max Metagross with Zen Headbutt, Max Blastoise with Water Gun, and Max Venusaur with Vine Whip. The ideal strategy for these tanks is that they have fully powered up Max Guard, and that they resist the charged attacks from GMAX Kingler. With Kingler having 3 out of 5 possible moves being water type, using water and grass type tanks will be useful because they'll resist those attacks. However, it is worth keeping in mind that it does have access to the bug type X Scissor, which will be super effective against grass types. So if you do only have grass types and you come up against X Scissor, I would recommend backing out of the battle and re-lobbying to reroll its moveset until it doesn't have X Scissor anymore. It's also worth noting that these suggested tanks can be healers as well, using Max Spirit, or they could double up as tanks and healers. And it is recommended to have 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 attackers per 4-person group if you can. And for the attackers, I would recommend GMAX Toxtricity with Spark, GMAX Venusaur with Vine Whip, Max Zapdos with Thundershock, although being a legendary, this one will be quite difficult to power up and to power up its max moves because the candy is hard to get. You could also use Max Rillaboom with Razor Leaf, Max Toxtricity with Spark, or Max Venusaur with Vine Whip. Again, with the potential of the bug type X Scissor, GMAX Toxtricity and the other electric counters will be ideal, but they will also take neutral damage to water type attacks, whereas grass types will be able to resist those. So it does really depend on what you're up against, and again, re-lobbying to change the moveset is an option. And as this is a Gigantamax battle, it can be challenged by up to 40 trainers all in groups of 4. And as we have seen with other GMAX battles in the past, it could easily require those 40 players, especially if there are a lot of players that are joining with unevolved Pokemon and max moves that aren't powered up. However, evolving your GMAX and DMAX Pokemon, powering them up and maxing out their max moves will really help reduce the number it requires to take them them down. And some of the GMAX Pokemon that have debuted in the past have been done with as few as 4 trainers. So it is possible that GMAX Kingler could be done with fewer than 10 people. And remember, a lot of people will be using attackers like they do for raids, so using tanks and healers might be a good strategy if you can't communicate with your team. You could also use tanks during the normal battle phase and then swap into an attacker during the Dynamax phase to utilize its high damage max or GMAX move and then swap back into the tank afterwards. Also, make sure your max Pokemon have the correct fast attack so it has the correct max move. This doesn't apply to GMAX Pokemon because their GMAX move doesn't depend on their fast attack. And if you have any, using max mushrooms will always help out because it will allow your Pokemon to do double the amount of damage it normally does for 30 minutes. Although these are pretty costly, so only pick them up if you really need them. And if you see this Dynamax icon on the battlefield, make sure to swipe into it to fill up your max meter more quickly. And even if all of your Pokemon have fainted in battle, you can still help by tapping on the screen to cheer on your teammates. This allows them to fill up their max meters more quickly. Now with that said, how good is GMAX Kingler going to be in Pokemon Go? Well, with its relatively high attack stat of 240, it will actually be a very strong water type attacker. It will be the best water type attacker released so far, so well worth getting it if you can. And this Pokemon will be the best water type attacker up until GMAX Inteleon gets released in the future. And outside of max battles, Kingler is the 19th best water type attacker, so not a bad budget option for that as well. And if you are looking to do these battles, I would recommend utilizing local Facebook groups and Discord groups to try and coordinate with other trainers if possible. You could also use Niantic Campfire to view nearby max battle and flare activity, and you can also use the Niantic Campfire map to check for local meetups as well. And if all else fails, you could just go to a popular location in a nearby city where there is more chance of finding other trainers to do the battles with. And with that said, if you did enjoy this video, then I recommend checking out these videos on the screen now, and I'll catch you in the next one.